What makes gameplay rememberable? When I think of games that have memorable gameplay, I think of games like Devil May Cry 3. I think of games like Kingdom Hearts 2, Dark Souls, any sort of fighting game. And why do you think that is? I'll tell you, one simple word: variety. There's hundreds and millions of games out there that have sword and shield gameplay, like Devil May Cry, like Dark Souls, like Kingdom Hearts. But why are those games in particular so memorable? Variety. Now, I'm going to ruffle a few feathers here, I'm sure, but honestly, I don't really care. Resident Evil 4 Original and Resident Evil 2 Remake have very similar gameplay styles. And at some point in the past, I would have told you that Resident Evil 2 Remake was possibly one of my favorite RE games. Replaying it now, I can't play it for more than about 5 minutes before getting bored and playing something else. And that is because the way to play RE2 Remake, the only way, honestly, is see an enemy, shoot the legs, stagger, knife, rinse, and repeat. There is very little thought or thinking, essentially, that goes into playing RE2. Once you get the hang of the optimal way of how to play this game, you will blast through every single enemy like there's no tomorrow. The zombies in that game become less of a threat and more so just an obstacle to get to the next puzzle, which in that game aren't too mind-blowing in and of themselves. And so while recording footage for this video right here, I noticed while replaying through RE4 that it was the same exact thing. Find an enemy, shoot the phalanges, Leon kicks them with his big toe, and then knife. That's it. That's the whole entire gameplay loop. And keep in mind that this footage that you're seeing right now is not from somebody who's particularly good at these games. This is after years of not playing these games, and I'm rather rusty. The way to play RE4 and the way to play RE2 Remake simply just isn't interesting or fun. I don't like to use the word fun because, truthfully speaking, if I had to pick which game that I would play for fun, it would definitely be RE4, the original, over RE2 Remake. And that's because the presentation and the feeling of RE4 is better than Remake of 2. Even though the gameplay is vastly the same, shoot for the legs, stun, and then knife to death, the presentation, I'm sure you can see, it is very more flashy and just more grand in nature in the original RE4. But for the rest of the game, that is pretty much all that you're doing. There's no change to the gameplay loop. And this is where RE4 Remake just takes what was so beautiful about RE4 Original and makes it so much better. Again, speaking about the similarities between RE2 Make and RE4 Original, while they still have a similar gameplay loop, the presentation and how fun that gameplay loop is, RE4 definitely edges out the Remake of 2 while still vastly being kind of the same gameplay. And this is where I want to talk about variety. So a day ago, I played the RE4 demo, the chainsaw demo, and I tried to approach it in the same way that you would approach a standard Resident Evil 4 original gameplay.
Oh, God, is that? Oh my God, oh my God.
Yeah, it didn't work out too well. And I'm happy that it didn't, because Capcom, I feel as though the remake games have been very standard in nature. I feel like they had something very good with the original version of 4. But since this kind of remake thing has come into play, they very much kind of gone back when they really didn't need to with RE2 make, RE3 make, and I can't really remember the gameplay of Resident Evil Village, but I assume that played similar. And I remember going into RE4 remake thinking to myself, if this plays the same as RE2, I'm just going to play the game on hardcore because these games are just becoming formulaic. I know how the enemies are going to play out. Go for the legs, abuse the knife, rinse and repeat. But Capcom has utilized a new, I shouldn't say a new form of gameplay because their company has done this for decades at this point. And it is making a combat system that you have to adapt to. When I think of a game nowadays, I've played hundreds and hundreds of games. Again, think of how many sword games are there out there? But there's nothing much like Devil May Cry, or games like Dark Souls, or games like Kingdom Hearts. And that is because, at least for games like Devil May Cry and Dark Souls, not so much Kingdom Hearts, but you have to adapt to the way that the developers want you to play. I can look at other third-person shooter games, and I can already tell you how I'm supposed to approach it, because I've played so many other ones. I tried to approach Resident Evil 4, the demo, in the same way that I've been approaching all the other RE games, and I got decimated. Oh my god, I got absolutely run through.
Tower. Oh.
There was an exploit in the original game. Think of a game like RE6. You can play that game like a regular third-person shooter. But the type of things that you are able to pull off in that game, I've never mastered that game because the mechanics in RE6 are just... It is a game that, honestly, thinking about RE6 makes me kind of sad because I think it really should have taken cues from RE4 and the original Devil May Cry, where Capcom knew what type of game they wanted to make. They had a beautiful system, a beautiful new way of approaching a third-person shooters. And I genuinely think RE6 should have been its own spin-off of and a start of a new series, because the mechanics in that game, while maybe not good for Resident Evil game, it was still a fantastic new take on third-person shooters. The mechanics that were at your disposal, again, you could have played that game like a regular third-person shooter, or you could have played it like a full-on BSAA special agent, like souped up on the T-virus or some shit, you know what I mean? And even though the RE4 remake does not have that same gameplay, it is still very to the point where I've been workshopping, playing through the demo multiple times, trying to figure out, okay, how's the best way I can utilize the knife? What's the best way for me? Should I use it as a defense mechanism, or should I use it more as more on offense? Okay, what if I don't have a knife? How should I do this? I was just, before I started recording this, I tried doing a couple runs in the demo without a knife, just in case I'm in a station, a place in the game where I don't have materials to craft a knife. And one of the things that I was using, because obviously if you don't have the knife, you can't utilize the parry, something new to this game. So I'm utilizing the dodge feature, aka the crouch button. And I'm workshopping ways. I'm getting caught by this guy multiple times. I'm trying to figure out, okay, is it the time frame that I'm crouching wrong with? Is it the distance? Is it the animation speed? Are there different animations? And I'm workshopping this thing. I'm like, okay, I'm realizing I'm dodging it the same way that I'm dodging the throwing axis. So I'm ducking and then I'm coming up to attack. I'm realizing that's not working out. I have to press crouch and continue crouching until his animation is done. Okay, but I'm still getting caught by this guy. how do I stop him from catching me? So I try, maybe I should back up while I'm crouched so that he doesn't catch me. It works a couple times. It works another time. I get caught by him in the end. What am I doing wrong? I realize, okay, I have to crouch, continue crouching, and push forward through him so he doesn't have, so his animation doesn't have the hitbox to catch me. And I'm realizing that I'm playing this game like people learning combos in Devil May Cry, or I'm playing this game like people on stream learning combos in like Tekken or Street Fighter or something like that. Because unlike other RE games where again it's just shoot the legs, kick with the big toe, and then knife to death, you actually have to pay attention to the animations in this game. Even sometimes that now I've mastered the crouch dodge. You also have to pay attention to the distance that you have between the enemy, because that guy, he's not going to always come in with the grab. Sometime he might punch you and you can't dodge that punch. His AoE is up and below. So even if you try to crouch out of the punch, he's going to hit you with it. You can only dodge his grab feature, his grab attack. Nigga, listen to me. I sound like I'm playing a fighting game. That's what I love, lads. Give me some variety to this gameplay. I'm not trying to do the same 3 moves and blast through this game like all the other titles. You know what I'm saying? Bro. And so you have to also pay attention to the specific type of enemies that you're going up against, because right now I'm describing the enemies that can grab you, and those enemies are the ones that don't have weapons. The ones that do have weapons, however, are the ones that if you do have a knife, you can parry. But I don't recommend parrying, because all that does is while it does get rid of the throwing axe, it chips away at your knife durability, and you want to keep your knife durability at the highest that it can be for the offensive plays. So for me, I'm just all like, okay, let me not parry the axes anymore. Let me go ahead and just continue to duck and push forward. And it's like the way that I'm workshopping this game right now, lads, it is exactly what I'm talking about. I'm talking like I'm playing a fighting game. But this is exactly what Devil May Cry 3 was like when I first started playing it. This is exactly what Dark Souls is like. This is exactly what, even though Kingdom Hearts is a game that people talk about, all you have to do is spam X. And I think X was the attack button in Kingdom Hearts. Is spam X and then cure at specific times. The type of things that people can pull off in that game when they actually pay attention to the mechanics and actually learn the features that the developers have put into the game that are supposed to be fucking used. It's like you can perform so many cool actions and combos within that game. Same with RE6. I was never able to master RE6. But I've said this before, RE6 is actually my most favorite out of the Mercenaries modes that I've played. By the way, I've played the classic RE games, but I have not played 3. So I don't know what the gameplay of Mercenaries modes in RE3 is like, because I've never played that one specifically. But the Mercenaries mode in RE6 just goes crazy with the crazy gameplay that game is packed with. And excuse me if I'm wrong, please forgive my ignorance, but I'm pretty sure RE4 Remake is also coming with the Mercenaries mode as well. And I'm just all like, the type of things that I'm seeing in this demo already, and you have to remember that we're only seeing the level 1 Ganados right now, lads. There are so many different more enemies within that game, and it's just all like, yo, I think the RE4 Remake is literally shaping up to be my favorite RE game. It might even be my favorite third-person shooter, honestly. Because I like to learn, lads. If I can look at a trailer of your game in the hundreds and thousands of video games that I've played beforehand for the vast majority of my life, if I can look at a trailer of your game and tell you I already know how to beat it, you have done something wrong. Give me a challenge. Give me a game to learn. I love to learn mechanics in how I should actually approach this game. And it's like, lads, think about meeting My ignorance, I'm not really good with names of things, but I think the regenerators, are they called zealots? The guys with the robes and stuff like that, lads. Oh my, when enemies start getting guns in the bow, this game is going to go so hard, and I'm still workshopping. That's the thing. I've only right now, and I've just perfected the dodge right now, and after this, I'm going to go back and try and work on perfecting getting my aim better, and then I'm going to go into the village and try and do that a bit. I love the direction Capcom has gone with this game, because again, I was ready to play this game like RE4. I was ready to play this game like RE2 Remake and just have the same, just again, shoot the legs, kick, and then knife, rinse and repeat. I'm bored when I play those games. They're not interesting to me because there's no choice. There's no variety. There's already a premium way. There's already an optimized way to play through this game. And it gives me no choice to have fun. But with RE4 Remake, this game looks like it's going to be crazy, man. And we've only had a 20-minute demo? This is insane. Insane. But what time is it? It's 7 p.m. I've been neglecting doing a college math quiz this whole day, and I only have a few more hours before it's due. So anyways, I have to go, lads. I'm about to go do my math quiz, and then I'm about to hop back into Resident Evil 4 Remake. Anyways, it's been Justice. Thanks for watching, guys. Peace.